Hello everybody and welcome back to our brand new episode of our F1 My Career mode here on the channel. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we take on the Russian Grand Prix as we continue on towards the final half of this pandemic 2020 season, and today is an exciting episode for more reasons than one. We've got some big news on the way. We've got a contract offer as well to report, and as well I can report, as you can see, we're making some upgrades coming into this weekend. Two things. Well, one, we are going to be taking a grid penalty because I had to change some engine components, so we will be taking a 30-place grid penalty, so we will be starting from the back no matter what this weekend. We have gotten confirmation there's going to be regulation changes for the 2021 season that myself and Daniel Ricciardo will have to work on, and Kimi Raikkonen announces retirement from Formula 1 to follow the 2020 season. He is calling it a career, and his quote is, "The DGAF tour begins now," as we come into this weekend, and we had some talks with AlphaTauri that didn't really materialize, so therefore we aren't getting any contract offer from them. But I did get a contract extension offer from my current team, fortunately, with Renault. They were willing to offer us only a 1-year extension for 750,000 Canadian dollars. I feel like, of course, we have to take it. It's the only offer we have on the table right now, so I feel like it's pretty well we're obligated to make that decision and sign that deal. But definitely going to be signing that going into the next episode. But big news this weekend with regulation changes confirmed, a retirement announcement as well. We're looking to sign the Pepsi deal as well going into the next episode. And the next episode's a big one because it's the home race for Renault, and they wanted to announce their 2021 driver lineup for or going into that weekend. And it looks like it's going to happen because I can confirm we're going to sign this extension. It's a 1-season extension. But there was some other news as well that could be concerning for my future, and maybe could be the writing on the wall as to why we've only gotten a 1-year extension. Renault has signed Formula 3 prospect who will be moving up into Formula 2 next season, Australian youngster Oscar Piastri, one of the up-and-coming prospects of the sport. There's a lot of hype around this kid, and they have signed him to be a development driver for Renault, and that is going to be certainly interesting to see how that plays out, as now makes me wonder what's quite going on there, and the reason maybe why they've only signed me for a 1-year deal if he's going to be in F2 next season. So something we're going to have to be paying attention to, and I think honestly next season, we're going to have to be from the very beginning looking at, other teams. And I think, to be honest, I'm a bit surprised we haven't gotten any offers from better teams so far this season, as I feel like we've done a phenomenal job at times. As we come into qualifying, it doesn't matter where we qualify this weekend. We're going to be starting at the back, even if we put this thing on pole position. But you can see the rain coming down here at this Sochi circuit. And yeah, a little bit off the pace all weekend. I've kind of been just trying to get acclimated with this track that I haven't driven on in an F1 game in years. And it was a lot of fun, this track is. It really is a pretty sick circuit. But at the end of the day, morals take more of an importance than a cool racetrack. And it's right that this track is no longer on the Formula 1 calendar. However, we are going to have it on the calendar in this 2020 season. It'll be on for 2021 as well, as we are slipping and sliding around here as we continue on through the final few corners now. And yeah, like I said, it doesn't really matter, but I still wanted to get a lap in just to kind of get a baseline, but it wasn't going to be a pretty lap, only P18. And actually we would get dropped all the way to last. Now, I definitely could have had more time in it, so I wasn't too concerned. But yeah, we qualify P20, but that was a 80% effort kind of lap there, just, seeing what was in the car, as we would as well have some media following qualifying.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. How do you feel these grid penalties are affecting the sport?
Claire, no comment really. That's just how motor racing works. You change a certain amount of parts, you got to take a penalty.
You won't be starting at the front of the pack. Are you worried?
Yeah, it's a bit of a worry, but we have to make the best of it anyway, so we'll see what happens.
Do you have any comments about this team?
Not really. I've not really been concerning myself with Haas at all, so yeah, nothing.
Appreciate your time.
Welcome one and all to today's Grand Prix here in southern Russia. A beautiful location besides the Black Sea, and a race that has been dominated so far by the Silver Arrows. Mercedes have won here 6 times in a row since the first Sochi Grand Prix in 2014. Can someone else muscle in on that record here today? It's full throttle for around 56% of the lap here at the Sochi Autodrome, a 3.6-mile run around the site of the 2014 Winter Olympics. 12 right turns and 6 left turns give us a total count of 18, with passing opportunities available into turns 1 and 13. And with me as usual is Anthony Davidson. Let's start with Racing Point. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Vettel, Leclerc, Daniel Ricciardo, and Sainz, Norris, Gasly, Stroll, and Sergio Perez, Albon, Kvyat, Max Verstappen, and Magnussen, Grosjean, Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi, and George Russell, Latifi, and the Rainmaster. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
I think the media is trying to get me to talk bad about all teams now that we trash-talked Williams. They're bringing up Haas now. We're starting at the back. We're putting on softs to start. We'll jump onto the medium compound tire, and the goal right off the bat as we kick off this formation lap is quite simple. We are going to be trying to slice our way through this field as quickly as possible, and I think we've got the car to do it. I was lacking pace in practice, but that was because I was still getting used to the racetrack again. Qualifying we lacked pace because I wasn't pushing 100% because I didn't have a reason to. I genuinely believe we still got a car that can finish top 10 here today. If we can navigate through the traffic quick enough here, if we can be in the top 15 or so after maybe a good 3, 4, 5 laps, I think we're going to be in pretty decent shape to go after a top 10. So that's kind of the goal here. Let's just try to gain 5 spots in 5 laps, and I think we'll be in a good position. And I don't see any reason why we can't do that now. But of course, anything can happen here in Formula 1 as we pull up behind George Russell, as well as fellow Canadian to my left there, Nicholas Latifi. 5 red lights. Valtteri Bottas, Lewis Hamilton are set to lead the field to green. We're racing and underway here from the Russian Grand Prix. A terrible start from myself, and you see in the background, Sebastian Vettel has gotten clear of Lewis Hamilton, who's alongside Leclerc on the long run into turn 1. Hamilton's going to pull back to the inside of Vettel and force it 3 wide. Ricciardo, our teammate, right in the mix as well. Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time champion, signed on with Ferrari for a few more seasons, is driving it hard today here in Sochi. Now Ferrari continues to make some gains. What a send from the 6-time F1 world champion. Hamilton back into second, but Bottas is already gone. What a move that was from Lewis Hamilton as the championship leader tries to, of course, keep Bottas out of winning this race, and he knew he had to send it right there and of course limit the gap that Bottas could put on him. That was one heck of a move as we're tucked in behind Nicholas Latifi. Both of us have gotten past George Russell, and now you see Kimi Raikkonen, of course, just announced retirement coming into this weekend here. His final Russian Grand Prix this will be. A replacement for him next season yet to be announced. Thought better of it, however, as we back up. But we're going to have a heck of a run down this long back straightaway. We've got some good straight line speed in this Renault Power as we pull out a line to pass Latifi. Now we'll pull to the left side of Kimi Raikkonen, who's going to squeeze us into the barrier. Big contact, and the left rear tire has been punctured in the process as well. And just like that, our race has been completely destroyed as we loop it around on the exit of the left-hander. And Raikkonen, who came into this weekend saying the DGAF tour begins now. I mean, I believe him. I mean, what was that garbage? As the car's destroyed, we got to come back into the pits. The wing's destroyed, the left rear's destroyed. Raikkonen actually already had some front wing damage. He's pitting as well for a replacement, and we are going to come in as well. I see why he's retiring. I mean, he can't even look in his mirrors. I mean, pure garbage that guy is. He better hope I don't get back to him.
Calm down, focus, don't do anything stupid.
I just don't understand what he's doing there. I mean, you guys got to report that to the stewards. I mean, what's happening here?
We're working on a report now, don't worry. Now go run your race.
Go now.
we return to the racing action, and our race is ruined because, I mean, the tire puncture, we had to limp it back around, we spun around, we lost a massive amount of time. The best case possible scenario, if we don't see a safety car, we have not seen a single safety car this entire season, so don't count on it today. In the best case scenario, we might be able to run down one of the Williams before this race is over, but I don't think it would get any better than that. But I mean, we're here to prove what we're able to do behind the wheel. We got to stick with it. We got to keep our head down. We've built up, of course, a bit of a reputation as a rookie here in Formula One, specifically against Charles Leclerc, but other drivers as well, as just driving quite aggressive and being kind of willing to do anything to get my car in front of other cars. And you know, maybe it's come back to bite me a little bit here as Valtteri Bottas leads the way over Lewis Hamilton, but I am very determined to go and run down Kimi Raikkonen and get back to him and make sure I beat him here today. As you can see, Leclerc is now in front of Vettel, in front of Ricciardo, in front of Sainz. There in the McLaren, then you got Norris as well, and it's the AlphaTauri a little bit further back. That's Pierre Gasly in front of Kvyat as we continue to go further down this order. The pair of Red Bulls, not a good weekend for them so far here from this Russian Grand Prix, as yeah, I mean, a lot of the focus is gone from myself today, it feels like, as we come to lap 5, and we are closing the gap to Raikkonen. We're not really gaining much right now on Latifi or Russell. They're 45, 46 seconds ahead of myself. Their soft tires, of course, aren't that worn yet, so it's not a surprise that I'm not really gaining much time. But we're gaining on Raikkonen almost a full second per lap at this point, so we are definitely going to be able to run him down eventually. And we come to lap 7, we had cut the gap now to about 10.5 seconds, so I mean, we are definitely going to get there. It's just going to probably take till, I mean, at the current pace we're at, probably around lap 16 to lap 17. But yeah, I mean, completely ruined our race. I just don't understand what Raikkonen was doing. I mean, he left the left side of the racetrack completely open. I went there, and then he just proceeded to squeeze me into the wall, nearly wrecked himself, and of course destroyed my front wing, punctured my left rear tire in the process, and just super frustrated because our race was over just as quick as it started. But we're not going to give up. You never know. We could see a safety car. We could just have something go our way. Unlikely, but like I said, you never know, and you got to keep going with some hope here. Valtteri Bottas now comes into the pits from the lead. He has opened up the gap further on Lewis Hamilton as this championship battle between the two Mercedes drivers will continue on, especially if Bottas can pick up the victory here from Sochi, as he'll come out of the pits. And as well, you got to believe that's Leclerc, and then my teammate of Daniel Ricciardo coming in, as well as Lando Norris in the background, followed by Pierre Gasly. Everyone's going to pit over this next lap or so, and as that all cycles out, you can see George Russell is 18 seconds ahead after his pit stop, and of course nobody has to pit again. We're going all the way to the end on this hard tire. We're going from lap 2 to 27 on the hards. Latifi comes out as well, and we are now only 3.5 seconds behind Kimi Raikkonen. I said we were on pace to get to him around lap 16 or 17. We might get him a little bit sooner because we're up to down to 2.3 seconds, and as I was getting closer, I mean, I was still, just wanting to just get to him, run him off the racetrack, put him in the barrier, whatever, you name it. I was really annoyed at this point, just because of, the fact he ruined our race on lap 1. Just trying to be smart. However, I'm certainly not going to be nice when we run him down. Fresh off of his retirement announcement, he goes and does something like that. Now, one of the old guys going after a young rookie driver that's been in a bit of the controversial waves this season, as we are now within DRS on Raikkonen, but it in fact would take the lap 16 until I got the DRS on him here now, and we are closing in on Latifi, who's even on fresh mediums. We're also closing in on George Russell. I think we can get Latifi if we can get through Raikkonen pretty quick, and we're going to have a good chance right here down the long back straightaway. DRS, slipstream as well, closing, how do we deal with this with Raikkonen? He leaves that left side open again. I'm not going to do that again. We're going to fire one up the inside, a huge dive bomb, not going to be nice about that one. Nearly ran him off the racetrack. I said, I'm taking that whether you like it or not, and he thought better of it and swerved out of the way, and I go through, and I managed to keep it still on the racetrack. But obviously Raikkonen, I'm sure, wasn't a huge fan of that, but can you imagine me caring? Because I didn't, as we continue on. So lap 17 coming to 10 laps to go, and the gap's about 10 seconds to Latifi, and we're gaining a little over a second a lap at some points to him, and we come to lap 19, and we've cut the gap already to nearly 7 seconds. And like I said, we're running down Russell as well. Roman Grosjean in the Haas, he's about 16.8 seconds ahead. He's another driver I was kind of paying attention to, but realizing very quickly I'm just not going to have the pace to run down the Haas. But we very well could have a chance to maybe get Russell, but I am certain we're going to go and run down Nicholas Latifi before this race is over. Less than 6 seconds, the gap between himself and I at this point now, and the gap to Russell now about 11.5. Just doesn't look like we're quite going to get to him, but we can focus in on Nicholas Latifi, who's having a little bit better of a run today than some of the runs he's had recently. And you see, as we come to lap 21, I mean, in the final 10 laps, I mean, this is going to be a pretty quick episode considering everything that happened early on. But Grosjean, we're not really gaining much on him at all. But we are definitely going to be all over the back of Latifi probably in another 3 to 4 laps at this point. Valtteri Bottas clear out in front over Lewis Hamilton. It doesn't seem to matter what Lewis Hamilton does this weekend. It's been one of those Valtteri Bottas weekends that we've seen in real life in the past when he was at Mercedes, where sometimes he would show up and he would just be the fastest driver all weekend from qualifying through to the Grand Prix. And this is one of those Valtteri Bottas weekends here in the game. He is dominating pole position, and here he is driving away from the 6-time champ of Lewis Hamilton now as we come to lap 24. A few laps to go, and we're nearly in the DRS. Not quite yet. Maybe another lap before we have a chance to go after fellow Canadian of Nicholas Latifi, also from the same province of myself even here, the fellow Ontarian, as we continue on. Raikkonen a good 6 seconds behind us now. Lap 25, DRS range of Nicholas Latifi. My teammate of Daniel Ricciardo on track right now to have, I believe it looks like a 6th place effort behind Sebastian Vettel as well as Carlos Sainz, who has a chance to maybe even get Vettel before this is over. Here we go, coming to 2 to go down the long back straightaway with the DRS. We're going to get Latifi here into the heavy braking zone. He continues side by side. Job done. We go through actually off the racetrack a little bit right there, but we get it going, and now there's some yellows in front of us, and it's a Red Bull. It's Alex Albon who's going to be done for the day. His engine or some form of mechanical issues going on in that car, and he is done. Alex Albon will pull over to the left side of the racetrack. Race over for him. That's another position, so we're going to gain 2 spots in 1 lap. That'll move us up at least to P17 as we come through into these final 2 laps. Valtteri Bottas has already started the final lap and has set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. That's a flex and a half. At this point, can Lewis Hamilton maybe match that? He was not able to as we come through finally, eventually to start the final lap ourselves. We've driven away 3 seconds basically on Latifi and Valtteri Bottas with just a few corners to go. A very calm Grand Prix for him. He rounds the penultimate turn, 1 more right hand, 90-degree corner to go. Valtteri Bottas is back on top. He wins the Russian Grand Prix and gets back into a closing distance of Lewis Hamilton for the championship lead, since he's been playing catch-up since that mechanical failure in Monza. As now Hamilton will have to settle for second. Charles Leclerc puts Ferrari back on the podium as Ferrari continue to make gains late in this season, setting themselves up maybe well for 2021 in the final season of this generation of Formula 1 car. For us, well, it was a disaster from the get-go, but we rebound to P17, rounding the final turn to the line, 17th position. Meanwhile, my teammate of Daniel Ricciardo scores strong points, P6.
Yeah, guys, sorry about that. I mean, obviously nothing I could have done there. Raikkonen, did what he did. So, yeah, let's bounce back, move forward here at home next week.
If something like this was going to happen, I'm glad it happened here instead of at home for the team in France. So, honestly, I'm really looking forward to the French Grand Prix, and that was, honestly helping me get through this race. I'm like, man, I think next race, it's going to be super fun, a home race for the team, an announcement hopefully for a contract extension as we are going to sign that deal. There's some positives to take away from this weekend as Ricciardo celebrates a 6th place effort, and he is likely as well to be coming back to Renault for the 2021 season. I think we're about to see a bunch of team announcements and maybe multiple team announcements as soon as the next episode, not only for the Renault driver lineup now, but of course the big one is still going to be what is Mercedes' plan with George Russell and Valtteri Bottas. We are going to hopefully find out soon enough, but they might stretch it out to the end of the season. AlphaTauri's Pierre Gasly in the top 10. Great race for Sainz, who did get Vettel at the end for 4th. Verstappen only manages P10 after starting 13th. I mean, I don't know what it was, but Red Bull, I mean, they started 11th and 13th. They just didn't have much speed this weekend. They struggled, but Verstappen scores a single point out of it now. As you see the point standings, Hamilton on top by 22 points over his teammate of Bottas, as Leclerc overtakes Albon in the standings for 3rd. Red Bull 203 points back. They're in a tight fight with, of course, Ferrari, McLaren, and Racing Point not too far back either. That does it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one from the French Grand Prix. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.